proud of everybody that protected the family this past week. Every single one of you, in the actions that you take, you are so important to this organization. You're so important to the middle income America, the marketplace that we serve. So great job on a great week. Okay, without further ado, I will tell you guys this. Okay, be looking for an announcement to come out. We have secured a date. You guys know that for the last, I guess now maybe 3 years, we've had a December leadership in Lynchburg, Virginia. Okay. So this is a special leadership. We have Barry Clarkson there. It's done in Lynchburg, Virginia. And so be looking. We have secured dates for that. And so I'll be making probably a digital announcement will come out a little bit later. And I will tell you guys, we're going to strive to open this up for anybody that wants to be a leader, anybody that wants to be a distribution builder. Maybe right now it's just you. Okay. Maybe right now it's just you fighting for your personal profitability, but you really want to get the information to be a leader and to grow your, and I want to back up. Okay. So I keep saying leader and distribution. So not all of our leaders are distribution builders. Okay. We have incredible leaders that are field underwriters, and that's what they want to be. And they're incredible. Okay. But this leadership is not going to be sales oriented. This leadership will be directed more to distribution building. That's why in the past we had sales managers and above that got an invite. And so this year, because it's been so long since we've gotten together face to face, we don't want to limit it so much. If you need leadership and you're interested in growing your organization, we want you to be in Lynchburg, Virginia, because we're going to be absolutely having a great time, and we're going to get after it. Like, it's going to be like, we're going to start early. We're probably going to go late, but we're going to get after it. And it's going to be leadership talk after leadership talk, and information that will certainly help you build your organization. So be looking out for that. So my guest today, Teri Stevens. You guys know, if you've been with the Cornerstone Group for a minute, you guys know Teri Stevens. It used to be, when I used to introduce Teri Stevens, it used to be, hey, so Teri Stevens, she is Andrew Pappas's mom, and she's Ollie Collins' sister. Okay. That's who Teri Stevens. Now we introduced her a little bit different way, because the world knows who Teri Stevens is. Listen, guys, she's helped so many people not even associated with Ollie's organization, Oak Grove Financial, the Difference Makers. She has been responsible for helping so many people learn how to book quality appointments. And I tell you what, I'm just amazed by her. I'm excited for the next little bit just to be able to pick her brain, because I know that she's going to teach things on this call today that will have a massive impact for somebody out there during this fourth quarter. So without any further ado, Miss Teri Stevens, are you with me this morning?
Hi, yeah, I'm with you. Can you hear me?
I got you loud and clear. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you. John, I was just going to say, it's funny. I remember one of the calls I did with you a long time ago. You had introduced me as Andrew's mom, Ollie's sister. And I said to you at the end of that call, and I don't know if you remember, you wait, John, one of these days it's going to be, here's, it's going to be the opposite. It's going to be about me, and they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's Teri's son. That's Teri's brother. And that's kind of funny. And not quite there, but I'm getting there.
There's no doubt about it, Teri. That transition, it has taken place. Okay, because Ollie and Andrew both introduced themselves now as being associated with you. So no doubt about it. Hey, so here we are in the fourth quarter. Okay, there's a couple of things that I want to get after. Okay, but I will tell you that the very moment the announcement went out, my text started getting flooded. And so I do want to ask a couple of questions. Like when I say, I think I heard like, and I don't know if this is every weekend, but like I heard that you went through like a weekend in your appointment setting where I think you booked over 60 appointments over a weekend, and I think the majority of them was via text. Is there any truth to that?
It's actually more than that. I'm at about between 90 and 160 a weekend now. Most of them are text. I do call. I do anything it takes. Usually I text first, then I call. I attack it from all different angles at all different times. People are all different. So you have to approach it a lot of different ways. Absolutely. So yeah. And I have, go ahead.
Well, so 90 to 100 appointments over a weekend.
Oh yeah, I've done more than that. I think the most I've done is 170 on a weekend.
Okay. Okay, so I will promise you, Teri. So I've got people on this call right now that will sit down with A leads and they have a problem booking 5 to 6 appointments. Okay. Now, Teri, you're talking to me. There's nobody else on this phone call because I know how nice you are. Okay. What is people's problems that they can't book?
I have a list. I have like a list of people's problems. Being an appointment setter, and I have appointments set, and this is since I've started my own business, and so now I'm doing all different kinds of people. At first, I just set for elite producers, just because they were more about freeing up their time. And now I've kind of have beginning people who are just starting, more elite producers. So this is just in general collective knowledge I've gotten over the 2 years that I've been doing this. And so it's, and to anybody who I appointment set for now, I'm not intentionally pointing anybody out, but if it rings true for you, I'm sorry, but it just is what it is, right? Okay, so one of the number one things that I find with elite producers is there's no such thing as a crisis. The only crisis there is not having appointments on your calendar. So they don't make something out of nothing. And I find people who are not very successful can make such a big deal about absolutely nothing, and it just sabotages their success. There's a saying, John, in recovery, I've heard when I was back taking psychology classes, and it was expectations are premeditated resentments. And I think in our business, expectations can be premeditated failure. So if you set I'm going to do this and that, and then when it doesn't happen, see, I knew it wasn't going to work. I just knew it. So it's almost like you're setting yourself up. And I think successful agents don't do that. They just go do it. They don't have a bar. They just go. And they set a schedule and they stick to it. They stick to the schedule. They don't text me in the morning, I have this now, or I can only do from 8 to 10:30 and then 2 to 6. I mean, when you start surgically setting your appointments, you are going to get little tiny results. And that's just the truth of it. So I would rather see an agent hit hard 2 full days than pick at their schedule 5 days a week. And you can't let no shows and 2-hour drives upset you. You just can't. It's just part of the process. And if you don't trust the process, which a lot of agents don't, and that's the problem, they don't trust the process. So if you don't trust the process, you have to ask yourself why. Is it because you don't trust yourself? Like, are you not trusting that you can do it? Or do you not trust the successful people who are telling you what it takes to be successful? And that's really it in a nutshell. Like, why aren't you booking your 15 appointments? Like, seriously, why aren't you? There is absolutely no reason. You pick up your phone, you dial, you text, you're done. Next, 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 next. It's all you do. You just keep going till you're done. And the restrictions, that agents place on their schedule, John, are restrictions they place on their business. And that's just how you got to look at it. The more restrictive you make your schedule, that's what you're doing to your business. You're restricting it, and that's okay because it's your business, but know that. So when you see your deposits or lack of deposits at the end of the week, month, or whenever you guys get your deposits, I hope those restrictions and or reasons and or excuses make you feel okay. Because at the end of the day, it's your own fault. It's not the process. It's not the leads. It's not the area. It's you. And you just have to own it, that it's you. I have an agent, a top agent in the company that I book for. And the A lead flow for him in his area, for whatever the reason, just went to poof. I think he's got like one A lead last week. And I think he was number 2 or 3 this week on the leaderboard. I think he was number 3. And well, oh my gosh, he didn't have a whole thing of A leads. He didn't have, but guess what? He went and made it happen. He went, okay, let me figure this out. I'm a business owner. What do I do next? And then the other thing, John, is I find with some elite producers, once they hit their hill, like to say they have, like say you're number 1 this week. Woohoo, I'm number 1. They fly their flag at the number 1 spot, and that's where they sit. They never go past it. They kind of ride that flag for a while, and it's like, okay, move on. Like the top agents that I book for who will get like $20,000-$30,000 a month or more or whatever, they don't even think about it. They're always moving. They're always looking forward. They're not going, oh yeah, I was top agent this week. Oh, I did 18. Oh, I did 20,000. Oh, I can't tell you how many times I have to ask the agents I work for, how'd you do this week? Oh yeah, I did 20,000. Oh, well, were you going to mention it? Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, yeah, it's just the process. They just take it in stride. And it's just so crazy. And you got to buy leads. You got to buy leads. You got to have inventory. And they don't have to be A leads. You can have a great mix of leads. I book on everything. It doesn't matter to me if it's an IPL, an IVR, a B, a C, a D, a Mailco. It doesn't matter what it is. A lead is a lead. I get answers from a year and a half ago still, from texts I sent out that I'll still text and they'll finally answer me. Doesn't happen often, but it happens. So a lead's a lead. And if you're scared to buy leads, if you're scared, you're like, oh, I only got so much money, I'm scared to buy the leads. You have to ask yourself, like, why are you scared? Are you scared because you don't think it's going to work? You think you're gambling. See, that's it. I think a lot of agents feel like they're gambling. Like, they're at the casino and they're like, okay, do I put it in this slot or that slot? Do I get an appointment setter, or do I buy leads? Do I, door knock? It's like, it's not a gamble. It's a sure thing. I'm here to tell you, after booking for many agents, I've probably made more phone calls and texts than almost anybody because of all the people I do it for. And it's not a gamble. You just do it, and my dad always used to say, everybody wants something until it's time to do something,
Right.
well, so you just have to do something. So, it's just, hold on one second. Sorry. Okay. I'm in my car. Sorry. I do it to get away from distractions and they come to me. So it's my life. But it's kind of how it goes. I don't know. And I really think, John, too, that some of my top agents, they're kind. They're just kind people, and they have a heart for what they do. And if you are only focusing on selling, I got to sell this policy. I got 5 appointments today. I need this. I need that. And you're always looking at your bank account. You're always worried about yourself. That comes across, whether you realize it or not. People feel it, and they feel your heart for it. So I always, like, when I was out in the field as an agent, I would always think about, maybe I'd be a little uncomfortable, or, I always think about, how is that person going to, okay, next week, if that person's spouse dies, okay, and it's whatever, they die, and I didn't sell them a policy. Am I going to be comfortable with, yeah, I did everything I could do. I did everything I could do to sell that policy. Am I going to be able to say that? And I do the same thing when I set an appointment, John. I can't, it's so sad and heartbreaking to me literally, it's put me in tears so many times, honestly, when I call a C and D lead and they tell me that their spouse just died. And I wish you would have gotten a hold of us sooner. I honestly, it happens so often. And that is what keeps me, when people tell me to, it's all the fun things that they say. I don't care. There isn't one thing that anybody has ever said on the phone that's like disturbed my peace, because I know what the process is, and I know what the end result I want, and I'm willing to go through whatever to get it. And I think that's what makes me a successful appointment setter, and that's what makes agents successful agents. It's the same kind of mindset, if that makes sense.
Teri, so if I'm assuming, just from learning from you from so often, I do know that you work all different lead types. You mentioned IVRs, IPLs. You work A leads. You work direct mail leads. You work B and C and D leads. So, like, what are the pushbacks that you typically get, and how do you handle those pushbacks? Like on an IVR lead, do you ever get the person on the IVR lead saying, "Well, I didn't know what I was calling about, and the lead was misleading," or what? I mean, do you ever get those types of pushbacks, and how do you handle it?
Yeah, there really isn't a pushback that is challenging, honestly, John. People, it doesn't matter what people say to me. If they say, "Oh, well, I didn't know I was calling to cancel this. I didn't even know what this was." I'm like, I totally know that you don't know what it is. That's, and that's why I was reaching out to you. It used to be that banks would go over this information with you at the time of closing, because back then it used to be if you died, it'd pay off your policy. Well, now it's so wonderful. There's so many more options available. If you have critical illness, heart attack, cancer, stroke, and because of that, it requires a licensed underwriter to go over it with you. And that's what this appointment I'm scheduling takes about 10 to 15 minutes. And, and then you can ask him any questions you might have, or her. And that's it. And if they say, "Well, leave me alone, don't ever call me again." You know what? I respect people. When they
Yeah.
tell me to leave them alone, not call them again, I leave them alone. I don't waste my time. I always tell my agents, I mark it as an appointment, or I mark it as do not call. Those are the two things I mark. And if they want to go through the do not call list and resurrect the dead, God bless them. They're more than welcome to do it, but I'm not going to waste my time doing it. I'll call, I'll text, I'll call. I've even emailed on instant internet leads. I text them, I call them, and the emails are attached as well with the instant internet leads, and I'll email them. And then I'll do it one more time and I'm done. Then I move on. You got to know when to move on and stop trying to beat the dead horse. And I think some agents who are holding so tight to those few leads they have are scared to just move on.
You talked about something that I really think is so spot on, and that is the process, and falling in love with the process and trusting the process. You said no shows and 2-hour drives are part of the process, right?
Right.
And I wanted to get you to comment on that. And also, I thought what was something really key that you said was, these people that have so many restrictions in their schedules, they're never able to really create a flow. I used to love, when I was in the field, I used to love those days that I had, and not every day was like this, but I used to love those days that I had, 5, 6 appointments in a row. I mean, I was able to relax in the process, versus those days that maybe had like one appointment, and this was my one chance to get a sale for the day. So any comments on any of that?
Well, I think I forgot the first thing you asked. I'm sorry. What was the first question?
The trusting the process.
Oh yeah, trusting the process. Well, because I've seen it, and I think for me too, as an agent, I've been in all those positions, and it's almost like you. I don't know how to say it, John, but I can remember being at my shop, and Andrew was there with me, and I was making my first phone calls, and I remember almost like dialing the phone and then going, "Oh, okay, you're not interested. Okay, bye." Like, I didn't have to have any more conversation. They're not interested. Like, almost like I was scared to trust the process. Like I was so busy holding on to my fear of, I don't know what, of them saying no. Well, who cares? Or them saying yes. That was more it. I was scared they were going to say yes. And then I was
Right.
actually going to have to go do what I know is going to work. It's weird. It's like you self-sabotage yourself. I don't understand why that is. But I remember the first client I had, there, Andrew was sitting in my chair at my shop, and I said, Andrew, this guy just called me back and said he's not interested because he has seizure disorders. Is there anything that will cover somebody with seizures? And he's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure GPM will. And so I text him that, and that's the first time I've ever texted. And I set my first appointment by text. And it's just, you just can't be scared to, you can't be scared to not know. I can't tell you how many times I've accidentally sent a text to a client that was went from one of my kids. Like, I'll pick you up at 5:30. Oh crap. That I just sent that to John's client. And I'm like, oh, I'm so sorry. Monday brain, Monday brain, I'm a mom. And it's like you just have to be human. And we're not perfect little robots, and we make mistakes. And the point, people I talk to on the phone know that. And I'm more than, and I tell them that I'm not an agent on the phone. I'm an appointment setter, so I don't answer insurance questions. So new agents can't use the excuse that, well, I don't really know insurance. Well, I don't sell insurance when I'm booking appointments. I book appointments. To me, it's two distinct different things. I'm booking an appointment. That's all I'm caring about. I'm not thinking about, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Or let me pre-screen them. Let me ask them if they have this or they have that. Because the longer you are on the phone, the more opportunity you're giving them to say no and to hang up on you. So
Right.
you get the appointment, you say, okay, great, have you down, have a good day. He'll see you tomorrow at 5. Bye. Boom, off. Next. And you don't engage in that conversation and keep that rapport up. That's not your job. It's the agent's job to build that rapport with the person on the phone.
Right. And so so that's interesting you say that, Teri, because I think so many people that struggle on the phone booking appointments, they do feel like they have to answer everybody's objections based on what they're saying. And
Right.
they don't answer tonality. They try to answer the objections, and that makes them horrible at setting appointments. And so one of the things that I thought about today that I wanted to get you to talk about is, how do people become their own appointment setter? How do people take and put on that hat that says, for today, I am so and so, and I work for myself, and I'm setting my appointments today. How do people get in that mindset that you're in, that you're able to do what you're doing?
Well, John, it's super interesting because I have 2 appointment setters that I'm training right now that work for me. Neither one of them are agents. Neither one of them even know what mortgage protection is. They don't even know they know nothing about insurance. I don't even know for sure if either one of them have a policy, honestly. I just send them, I just tell them what to do and they do it and it works. So you don't have to answer questions. Like, and my brother Ali always says, and I'm sure other people say it, and he probably got it from them, but the person who's asking the questions is in control of the conversation.
Amen.
And if you're allowing people to ask you a lot of questions, then you're allowing them to control the conversation that you're controlling. Hi, John. This is Teri. I'm the appointment setter for your mortgage protection field underwriter. I'm giving you a call today because I'm trying to set an appointment between you and the underwriter. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes. He just wants to go over the protection options for your loan. Well, what is this about? Yeah, that's what he's going to talk to you about, or that's what I'll talk to you about at the time of the meeting. It's not something I can really get into with you over the phone, because it does require, just a little bit more. So do you have tomorrow, whatever. You always go right to asking them the question of, what time do they have? What time do you have? What time do you have? When do you have availability? And when they ask questions, you deflect and go right back to setting the appointment. And I've said that so many times on so many calls. There isn't anything different that I do. This is exactly how I do it. Like, as I was sitting here waiting for you, I booked 4 appointments. And it's not rocket science, you guys. It's a text message. And I'm really going to insult a lot of you when I tell you that my 15-year-old now sets appointments and probably does over 25 a week in her few hours in her bedroom when I give her phone and have her do it for me. So there's no excuse.
Love it. Hey, Chris, you need to mute out. There you go, bud. Okay, so what you just said, okay, I want to back up because I want to make sure everybody hears it. And I'm telling you guys, okay, focus in, and you need to learn this. What Ollie was teaching Teri is so spot on. Number one, you don't ever answer the objection so much as you answer the tonality. And number two, he who's asking the questions is always in control. So when people give you an objection and they ask you a question, you have to learn how to answer the objection and ask them a question. If you answer somebody's objection without asking them a question, you're giving them 100% complete control, and you will lose every single time. And so, if you ever engage in a role playing with somebody, that's the thing that you would probably get most out of role playing, is learning how to think as far as answering people's objections, how to think in terms of how do I answer their objection and ask them a question so that I stay in control. So, Teri, what is, just off the top of your head, like what is and you've taught this a million times, there's scripts out there, but just what's a general text message? What does it say to your client? And because I know you treat every lead as a lead, okay, A lead, IPL, D lead, whatever. I mean, I'm assuming you don't really change up anything. Do you change up anything between a direct mail and an IVR?
The only difference that I do in any of my appointments, my text is, I have a text format that I've already copied and pasted. So I just put their name up front and then I paste it, and it says, hello, I am the let me see. I don't want to be the appointment setter. Hi, I'm the field underwriter. I'm sorry, it takes me a minute to get back into field underwriter. I'm the field underwriter assigned to your mortgage protection options. I am trying to schedule a brief appointment to go over the protection options with you. Now I have changed it a little bit. I'm sorry. I would like to schedule a brief meeting to go over the protection options with you and your spouse/partner, because I've been getting a lot of one-legged appointments, so I'm trying to avoid that. It's kind of a new thing I've interjected. And then I have like this time. Do any of these times work for you? And then if it's a video call appointment or a virtual appointment, I say, I am the field underwriter. I'd like to schedule a brief video appointment with you to go over the protection with you and your spouse or partner, to go over the protection options for your mortgage. Does Tuesday at 4 or 6 p.m. work for you? I'll be brief. And then, John, when I send those text messages out, and it works every time, promise you. You'll send, let's say I challenge you to send 30 text messages out, wait about an hour, 2 hours maybe, and then text, do any of these times work, and send it to every single person. And you'll get at least 1 or 2 people that'll respond something back, either no or yes. This time, or no, I can't do that time. What about that time? And so people who were just it was just a stagnant text. When you send it again, it's like, okay, now this person is a real person, because I'm saying, do any of these times work? And I'm not just sending a form text. And also, I like to do it in the morning, first thing in the morning. Do any of these times work? Because when they get up in the morning, it's going to be the first text on their text, when they're looking. You always want to be at the top. You don't want to get buried at the bottom. So I'll shoot out another text. And if they say stuff like, oh my gosh, you're blowing up my phone texting me, can you leave me alone? Absolutely. If you just would have said that, in the first place, I would have absolutely. I just needed you to respond. Thank you so much. And that's all. Just always be respectful. That's fine. Thank you so much. I'll note the file. And note the file. Do not call. Boom. Next person.
So, and your text messages, in order to book the number of appointments that you're booking. Okay. Are you just sending personalized text from your phone? Do you have text app? I'm getting some of those questions.
Nope, I don't have a text app. I do it all from my phone. So usually, okay, so from my point of view, because as an appointment setter, the prime time for me to set appointments is obviously it's that Saturday morning slot, from 8 to noon. That's like that's like the sweet spot. But I like to go into Saturday with some appointments on the book already. So I always book on Friday. Always. I always start like Friday at 4 or 5 o'clock. And I book to like 9 or 10. And then I'm a night owl, so I stay up late. So I'll just start sending texts that I'm going to send the next day, but I won't send them. I'll just put them on draft. On an Android, I'm not sure about Apple, so don't ask me. I don't know anything about it. You can put a text in, you can write it out, but not send it, and it'll save as draft. So I'll get up in the morning and I'll have 100, 200 drafts. And I'll send all those out. But that way, everybody's getting the sweet spot time, right? Everybody's getting the sweet spot time. And then I also text too. So let's say I could text 200 people, but I did 150, 200 the night before. So now I'm doing 400 people. So I'm using my time smarter because I can work on those off hours and still get all my agents that morning exposure that they need to get those appointments set.
Okay, so Teri, you mentioned your 15-year-old daughter. Now, I do know your 15-year-old daughter, and she is amazing. Okay, so she's not your average 15-year-old, but she's 15. Okay, and if she's booking 20, 25 appointments a week, then anybody on this call today, or anybody that watches this link, I mean, let's just say that if you don't have 15 appointments a week, really it's a choice that you're making, either voluntary or involuntary. It's a choice you're making. So if you were to script out, if there's somebody on this call today that's just starting that needs to make this work full time, and they need to do 15 appointments a week, and they want to have the same type of first year that your son Andrew had, because your son Andrew, his first full year made like 175,000. Okay, so how would you coach that person? Lead types, text, phone. If they need to have 50 appointments Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, how would you coach them starting Friday afternoon to take action to do that?
Okay, so what I would do I'll just tell you what I would do, and then they can apply it to them.
Yes.
So if I was buying leads for myself and I wanted to get 15 to 20 appointments for the next week, on Thursday, I would go to Mailco and I would look and see whatever Mailco leads I could buy. On Friday, I would look at Opt and see if there was any IPL leads, leads. I'd call my manager, which is my brother, and I would ask him if I'm going to do virtual leads. I'll ask him if there's any areas that an agent isn't doing their job. So maybe there's a place where there used to be an agent who isn't anymore, and I'll look for those little holes or see what he has to say about what kind of lead opportunities could work. Usually, Ali used to tell me always do a mix up of leads, hit a couple different counties, do some Mailco IPL. So I got like a big round, they're all so much diversity in what I'm going to call and text. So then on Thursday, when I get my Mailco leads, I would instantly I would text all of them. Friday, when I buy my IPL and my leads, I would text all of them. And then at 5 or 6 o'clock, I'd start calling my Mailco leads that I had text the night before. And then Saturday morning, I'd get up and I'd start calling my leads. I would just let's say so my Mailco leads are going to be first, and then my leads, my B leads, my IPL in my phone, because they're all in my phone now. And I'm just going to start at the top, and I'm just going to start calling them. And then if they don't answer, I'm going to send them a text and say, I just left you a message. 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 Because they're like, crap, but now she's leaving me a message. Let me check my voicemail. Because people don't check their voicemail. Right? I didn't check mine. I just delete them. So she's like, oh, now she's sending me a voicemail. So, I mean, I say that and then I also know I called them. So then it's a good record for me that, oh yeah, I called them. And then if they don't answer, then I send them another text and I do another phone call. And if I don't have, and I always start booking Monday. And when Monday starts to fill, I offer times Tuesday. So I would go like Monday 10, 11:30 to 4:30, or no, to 3:30, 5, 7:30. And then when those like 7:30 goes and 5:30 goes, then I offer Tuesday at 5:30, 7:30, but I still leave the Monday morning options open. Then as that closes, like I slowly close my schedule, because I would rather have Thursday, Friday off doing 15 or 20 appointments Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, than, but that's me. Because then on Wednesday, then Thursday, Friday, I can buy leads, I can get ready to set my appointments up. I have that all those days to get myself set up for my next 3 hard days. But that's how I like to work, and that's how my agents like to work too.
Yeah. So, okay, so when you say Mailco, Mailco Leadco, they offer us tremendous direct mail inventory leads. Okay, so this gives us the opportunity to go work behind those IMOs out there that really are only training their agents on one product, and we know that one product, and we know that one product's not the greatest fit for every client, right?
Right.
Not a bad company, just the product's not a one size fits all. Okay, so Melco Leadco, you go in there, inventory leads. Thursday, you text them. Okay, 24 hours after you text them, you start calling them. I'm assuming that you start your call off with, I'm Teri Stevens, and I sent you a text last night or whatever. At least it gives you a reason to call. So your the inventory leads that you buy, and then the A leads, the IVRs, the IPLs. So like you're on a schedule where you're texting first, 24 hours later calling. You're starting on Thursday afternoon.
Yeah.
So between Thursday afternoon and Saturday afternoon, to me it sounds like that's when you're booking your appointments for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Am I spot on with that?
Absolutely. I want to go into Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, and I want to have, ideally, I want to have 6 to 8 appointments already on my book for next week. That's ideally what I want. Because I don't like to spend my whole day Saturday making phone calls. See, this, to me, it's all about time. To me, owning a business is great and running your own business, but if it's controlling your time, then it's controlling you. So I want to control my time, and so I try to use my time wisely. So I like to go into Saturday with like a little head start, and so I'm not like, oh, I have no appointments. And then you feel that pressure, you know what I mean? That gut wrenching, oh my gosh, it's Friday, it's Saturday morning. I have nothing on the book. I didn't even buy my leads yet. Oh, let me go buy my leads. And it's just, oh, let me make a cup of coffee and think about it for 10 minutes. And and then, oh, then the kids are playing outside. Oh, I'll do that later. Then there's all these excuses, John, that come into play that we all can fall into. It's not to point the finger. We all have those struggles. Like, we all have to overcome that. Oh, I want to lay back in bed for an hour and watch some morning TV or cartoons with my kids, or so I try to manage my time to where I'm getting the most out of my time. And for me now, it's getting the most out of the time for the agents that I set for, because I don't want them to think, oh great, I'm agent number 12 and she's not, I'm not getting the same treatment as Johnny gets. Johnny's getting all the prime time. I'm getting the Sunday at 4 o'clock,
Right.
So there's that.
So based on, okay, so one of many things that we love about Equus Financial is their commitment to quality leads and a quality lead system. Okay. I think a lot of us would agree that in the IMO world, they have gotten it right from a quality lead system. We all operate under that incredible banner. Okay. So for the people on the call today, or the people that watch this link, and who knows, maybe somebody watches this link 6 months from now or 6 years from now. Okay. Based on the lead quality that we get to operate in under the Equus Blue umbrella, if somebody doesn't make it as a field underwriter, why would that be?
Because they're self-sabotaging. It's their own fault. There's no reason why you can't do it. I mean, I think Connor Jones proved it. It doesn't take age, doesn't take experience. I've proven that. and it doesn't take knowledge, and Ollie proves that. And I'm joking. I just had to. But there's one little thing I wanted to tell you. I have one secret that I want to tell the little Cornerstone group that I haven't really told anybody else. So when leads are kind of down, which they've been lately, although, you can always book your reviews. That's not a secret. Everybody knows that. But one of the things I've been doing, and I'm not saying I just started it, so I'm not 100% on the success rate of it because there's only a few agents I've done it with. But when I'm writing my "Hi, this is Teri, blah, blah, blah. I'm the appointment setter." So now I have another one that says, "Hi, I am the appointment setter, and I'm scheduling appointments because the underwriter had indicated that you might be interested in pursuing or hearing more about retirement options. If this makes sense to you, he has this time, this time, and this time." And I send that out to every single person in my phone, to every single person I've ever sent a text to, which you can imagine it's thousands and thousands. And maybe I'll get 4 appointments, 5 appointments, 10 appointments, 20 appointments, but that's a completely different situation now. Now that's not mortgage protection. You're going to talk some serious money. That's a 2 appointment thing. That's not something you want to do for your whole week, but what a great way to kind of fill in some holes if you have some. To set up that advanced market appointment for yourself if you want to start getting into the advanced market, and it works. I've set appointments that way, and you've already paid for the leave, so you just increase your margins because you don't have that overhead of a lead expense.
Love it. Love it. So with all that you've given us, let me give something back to you for 10 seconds. Do you understand just what you're doing appointment setting? That has it dawned on you based on how many appointments and how good you are at securing the appointment, this skill set that you've developed, okay? This skills, does it ever dawn on you the difference that you're making in so many people's lives because you are working, you have your thumbprint through so many top producers, Johnny, Andrew, I mean, I could go on and name more, but when those people sign that application and it gets approved, I mean, does it dawn on you how many lives you have a hand in protecting each week?
Yeah, I do. It does. It's what we do as insurance, underwriters is such a rewarding really is a rewarding career. And also in a different way, appointment setting is because, I'm taking the pressure off the agents in the sense that, like, especially for like Johnny and Andrew and Ollie, like they're building, they're building as well. So it gives them the time to reach out to other people and help them, get on their feet because they're not doing the appointment. So I have that sense of satisfaction knowing that they're helping people down the road. And then I also have the satisfaction of, every time, like when one of them sit with an agent or a family and write a policy. Yeah, it does feel good. And I'm really hoping that this year, John, that Johnny's going to give me a paid vacation. I keep, asking him for some holiday time, and I don't know. I'm fighting for those benefits.
Well, we'll start a text email chain right now. Everybody on this call today, I don't know how many, but we'll start bombarding Johnny with that. So we'll make sure we get that done.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I never realized like how many people. It's just funny how things evolve. It's funny how it evolves for agents, and it's funny how it's evolved for me. And I'm just super excited to be a part of it in my small sideline way, on the side. I'm glad to be a part of it.
So, okay, so last question. As a mom, okay, so we're going from Teri Stevens, the appointment setter, to Teri Stevens, the mom. Like when you see Andrew happen today versus 3 years, I mean, I realize he's always been a great kid, but when you see the success that he's had in this industry, how does it make you feel?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It's so, Andrew is probably one of the most, and I think anybody that knows him will agree with me. I'm not just his mom. He is one of the most intelligent people I know. He's got extra brain cells that are just doing all kinds of extra stuff, and he always has. And this industry is so good for those brain cells. He can put it on, the IULs, the annuity, and he can mull over those questions. And he loves hopping in and helping people answer those hard, difficult questions. He likes to help people, and I think it shows. And he also likes a challenge, and so this industry has just checked all those boxes off for him in so many ways. And I've seen so many people's lives change because of the industry. I mean, even my small little appointment setting company has changed so many people's lives, which is also a part of the industry. I see Ali and how many people he's helped. I see you. I mean, John, I've known you from the sidelines for years. It's just, and I think for me, I didn't have a hard time with the believability because I knew the people. And so, I mean, it's my son, it's my brother, it's John, Kite, and Kim. And I knew it would work. So maybe that gave me a little extra edge on some people who are like, oh, I don't know, it might be a scam, or it might be this, or, I never had that. I'm just like, oh, okay, Ali, this is what we're doing. Cool, I'll do it, and I just trusted it, and it's worked. And it's changed so many people, and I'm so happy and grateful, just to have the opportunity to do it.
Okay, so you mentioned, okay, let's do a Teri Stevens commercial, okay?
Okay.
Every time Ollie and I get you to jump on a call with us, I'm sure that the most text that we get is, how do I get Teri working for me? How do I get Teri, training my appointment setter or whatever. So can you kind of give a commercial about your company and what you're wanting to build? And do you see yourself just serving the Difference Makers organization, or do you see yourself building something where maybe you can branch out and serve more of the Cornerstone group?
Yeah, I think that now that I've like I told you, well, the name of my company is Ready Set Go. I actually have a Facebook page, and also a website I can, share with the link with you later. And we are taking new agents right now. I do have appointment setters that work with me that I've trained. So right now, I've been working strictly pretty much with the Difference Makers group, just because those are the people I know. I haven't
Yeah.
done any advertising. This conversation we're having right now is the most I've done, because without advertising, I got slammed pretty hard with a lot of agents. And so I was setting for like 13 people myself, while I was waiting to get, people trained. I actually have two other people that work with me right now and who are super good. So now we are going to branch out. We will, I mean, the goal is just to, John, I don't have a goal. I'm just kind of rolling with the punches. If, there's people in the Difference Makers group that need help, then absolutely. I prefer, honestly, to work with people who are successful agents. And the reason why is I think that everybody needs to overcome their obstacles on the phone, because if they do a shortcut and get an appointment setter right out of the gate, then they still have those obstacles to overcome. Then they'll overcome them in the house. I would rather see people, I think to overcome that on the phone, I think, is a better way to go. It's just been my experience that setting for new people doesn't really, maybe getting them started for the first week, but after that, I think that everybody needs to kind of do their own thing and own it, and then I mean, that's just my opinion. Obviously, I could be wrong, but I've seen it so often that people who just rely on appointment setter don't know how to make their own appointments. Um, they still have a lot of growing to do as a business owner. There's plenty of times, John, where I've had to call Johnny on a Monday and go, Johnny, I'm having a rough time filling your schedule, and he's jumped right in and helped. I have agents, when I'm setting appointments, they'll look at their calendar and they'll go, oh, she's setting in this county. Oh, I don't have a lot of leads in that county, and they'll jump on Opt and buy some more leads in that county, shoot me a text and say, hey, I see you've been booking in this county next week, so I bought some more leads for you. Those are the kinds of things that business owners do, and those are the people I like to work with. I don't want to train people how to be a business owner. I just want to set appointments. So that's just kind of, that's what I do. People ask me questions, I send them to their manager. I'm not your manager. I'm just an appointment setter.
Love it. And I also agree about, how important it is to own the process and learn the process. Like, it's not a bad thing to struggle. So many times I think we try to make it so easy for every single agent, and we try to remove every obstacle thinking that that's the pathway to success. And really what it is the epitome of the story, the success story that we hear all the time about, the person that cut the cocoon because the caterpillar was really struggling. And we didn't want, human nature, we don't want to see anybody struggle. So let's cut the cocoon, right? And therefore the caterpillar, or in this case, the agent, dies because they don't ever get strong enough to actually do this business. And because they're listen, we're in the world of sales, and the world of sales, I don't care what any marketer tries to tell you, it's an ebb and flow world. It's an ebb and it's a flow. It's an ebb and it's a flow. So when you're in an ebb, don't ever think that you're bad. You're in a flow, don't ever think you're that good. Okay, it's ebb and flow, and we're farmers. We sow seed, and the thing that I love most about your teaching, Teri, when you talk about booking appointments, what I see is I see a major seed sower. You sow that seed starting on Thursday, and it's like the activity that you do. I love what it produces, and everybody's looking always for a silver bullet. I love the Saturday morning teaching session that Brandon had 2 weeks ago, where he talked about, hey, I'm going to teach you how to increase your sales by 50%. I love that topic because that got people logging on, because people wanted to learn the secret to how to increase their sales by 50%. And I love what Brandon taught them, which is, if you want to increase your sales by 50%, increase your freaking activity by 50%, right? We can't ever get around sowing the seed and producing the harvest, sowing the seed and producing the harvest. And for people that sleep and harvest, I just read this, I think it was yesterday, people that sleep and harvest, or people that don't sow enough seed, that the results are never there. And it's on them. It's their action. It's only on them. And I don't know, maybe it's because they're lazy, maybe it's because they're defocused, maybe it's because they allow everything in the world to come up in their schedule and defocus them, which you hit on early on. Maybe it's that, but whatever it is, what it always equals up to, which is somebody losing and now getting out of the business. And typically those people now have to go back and take a W-2 job, and it's kind of like the lion in the cage syndrome, right? It's a pretty sad thing. So, any closing comments today?
Not really. I mean, just do it, you guys. It's not rocket science. I used to say in our garbage business all the time, well, we are saving lives here, sort of, but I always say we're not saving lives here. Just go do it. We're not, this isn't hard. It's not hard. Just pick up the phone and do it. And I always say, also to my agents, so do what I just said. Or my appointment setters, excuse me, start on Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Okay, if you don't have anything on Sunday, I'll sit down with you and we'll just talk how horrible it is on Sunday, how it didn't work. And guess what? We never have had that conversation, because it always works. It always works. If you buy leads, make phone calls, send texts, set appointments, you'll be a successful agent. Open your calendar, run the appointments, get in your car, put gas in it, and go run the appointment. It's really not that hard. So just go do it. And then, after you do all that for 6 months, and then if it doesn't work, give me a call, and, I'll tell you you're right and I was wrong. But I'm telling you, I've booked for enough people. I know it works. And none of these guys are lying. They're being honest. What you see is what you get. So good luck.
Well, Teri Stevens, God bless you, your family, and listen, I pray God blesses Ready, Set, Go, and love it. This is genesis of something great. So God bless you, buddy, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.